Last time on the Sword and Shield anime, Ash and Hop both challenged Bee and got wrecked. Ash then wins in a rematch, Bee destroys the Stow-on-Side mural and gets eliminated from the gym challenge, and Hop leaves the group for good. How much will he grow the next time we see him? And how will Ash do in his gym battle against Opal? Find out right now. Episode 62. Gloria gets another Pokejob request, this time for an air delivery service. Gloria has a good amount of flying Pokemon, but has Ash help lead with his more experienced Corvisquire. The Pokemon do their job just fine until the final delivery. Medicine must be taken to a Pokemon Center in the next town. However, a dangerous storm approaches. Team Rocket show up and slow them down, but they're eventually blasted off. However, the storm has now arrived, and Gloria's Pokemon aren't strong enough to fly in these conditions. It's all up to Ash's Corvisquire, who pushes itself so much that it ends up evolving into Corviknight. In the end, the delivery is successfully made, and Gloria completes the Pokejob. Episode 63. Ash and Gloria arrive at Glimwood Tangle, and are ambushed by Team Rocket. During their battle, they disturb a group of wild Trevenant. They control the forest in anger and attack, separating everyone. Ash ends up with James, Pikachu and Eevee end up with Meowth, and before Jessie finds Gloria, she's rescued by a group of Impidimp that basically worship her because of her hair. Here we have fun antics with the mixed pairings, but as they all try to find each other, they're still being pursued by the angry Trevenant. Episode 64. The Trevenant attacks continue, but Ash and James are saved by Gym Leader Opal and her Galarian Weezing. James has a bit of a fanboy moment as it reminds him of his old Weezing. Opal helps Ash and James navigate through Glimwood Tangle, and they eventually find Pikachu, Eevee, and Meowth, and finally Gloria and Jessie. With Team Rocket reunited, Jessie decides it's time to use her Impidimp army to attack, even though James doesn't want to as he's grateful for Opal's rescue. With the help of Opal, Ash and Gloria send them blasting off, and in the end, they reach Ballinlee, where Ash challenges Opal to a gym battle. Back with Team Rocket though, it seems that one of the Impidimp ended up blasting off with them by mistake, so Jessie catches it. Episode 65. It's time for Ash's 3-on-3 gym battle against Opal. Before they begin, she reveals that she's actually looking for a successor to her gym, so she'll be asking him questions during the battle to see if he's not only worthy of being a gym leader, but worthy of receiving a badge. This gets Ash nervous as simply winning might not be enough now. The first match is Corviknight versus Granbull. Immediately, Opal asks Ash what's one of Fairy type's weaknesses. Ash answers with Steel type, while commanding Corviknight to use Steel Wing. Opal is pleased with Ash's answer, but catches him off guard when Granbull uses Fire Fang. Ash decides to switch it to Pikachu, and uses Iron Tail instead. Granbull uses Dig and does major damage to Pikachu, but Pikachu traps it with Electro Web and defeats it with another Iron Tail. Next, Opal uses Galarian Weezing. Pikachu does well at first, until it's hit with Toxic. Pikachu tries to go for a quick attack, but is stopped with Strange Steam. The fight continues for a bit until Opal interrupts with another question. What's her favorite color? Pink or purple? Ash hesitates a bit, but goes with purple. The answer was correct, but it distracted Ash from the battle, and Pikachu gets taken down with Venoshock. Opal tells Ash that a skilled trainer must remain sharp at all times. Next, Ash uses Scentiscorch. It gets hit with Toxic as well, but it's able to power through and defeats Weezing with Flame Wheel. Opal's final Pokemon is Alchemy. Deciding to end the battle now, Ash G-Maxes Scentiscorch and uses G-Max Scentinferno, trapping Alchemy in a Fire Spin. However, Alchemy uses Mystical Fire to control the flames and send it back to Scentiscorch. Opal has one final question. What's her age? 16 or 88? Ash easily answers 88, and although the answer was correct, Opal is angry with how insensitive Ash was, and as punishment, she G-Maxes her Alchemy. We get a clash between G-Max Finale and G-Max Scentinferno that cancels each other out. The toxic damage catches up to Scentiscorch though, and it goes down anyways. Ash's final Pokemon is Corviknight. It uses Hone Claws to power up, but gets hit hard with Max Flare. Corviknight is still standing though, and it goes in for multiple Steel Wings. Alchemy goes for one more G-Max Finale, and Ash counters with a Drill Peck and Steel Wing combination. Corviknight fights with all its might, and pushes through to land a direct hit on Alchemy's face, causing its defeat. After the battle, Opal says that Ash passed, and although he's not pink enough to be the gym's successor, he's still good enough to earn his 5th gym badge. Episode 67. After a battle with the twerps, Team Rocket are blasted off, and crash land in a forest full of Galarian Meowth. Meowth enjoys the attention, and begins to question his loyalty to Team Rocket after seeing how happy the Galarian Meowth are with their simple lives. Jessie and James decide to leave Meowth when they see how happy he is, and they have a touching goodbye. Later that day, a bully Berserker shows up. Turns out it shows up often to steal their food, but the Galarian Meowth are too afraid to fight back. Meowth stands up for them, and despite being beaten down, he uses a new move, Night Slash, which rallies the Galarian Meowth to fight back and drive off the bully. Later that night, Meowth is missing Jesse and James, and the experience with the Berserker reminds him of his own goal to dethrone Giovanni's Persian. Inspired by the Galarian Meowth's ability to stand up for themselves, Meowth leaves the group and has a heartwarming reunion with Team Rocket. Episode 68. Ash and Gloria stop by Hammerlock on their way to Sirchester. They're reunited with Leon and Raihan, who are helping with Sonia's research. Leon says that he recently contacted Hop and heard everything that happened back in Stow-on-Side, but apparently he's doing a lot better now. This relieves Ash and Gloria, and then Ash shows Leon his latest gym badge and requests a battle to show how much he's grown. Raihan objects, saying Ash isn't worthy enough yet until he reaches the Galar League, but Leon ignores him and battles with Ash on a 3-on-3 anyways. The first match is Dreadnought versus Charizard. While the two Pokemon go at it, Chairman Rose and Oleana continue their experiments with the remaining Wishing Stars bead collected. This causes random Pokemon to Dynamax once again. Ash and Leon's battle is interrupted, and the gang split up to help take down the rampaging Dynamax Pokemon. During this conflict, Gloria and Sonia work together to take down a G-Max Kingler that Gloria ends up catching, her 6th G-Max Pokemon. In the end, it seems like they were done, but even more Dynamax Pokemon begin to pop up. This has Leon concerned, as he believes something might be up at the energy plant. Episode 69. While the Dynamax rampage continues, Team Rocket infiltrates the energy plant in hopes of getting closer to Chairman Rose. They overhear his plan to awaken a Pokemon called Eternatus, who he believes will save Galar from his energy crisis. The trio end up getting spotted by Rose, who tells Oleana to handle them, while he tries to calm things down outside. Team Rocket are then confronted by a bunch of Macrocosmos members. After a tough fight, it seems like they're gonna lose, but then stray Galar particles hit Meowth, causing him to Gigantamax. With Meowth on a rampage, Jesse and James are able to snoop around and gather more information. Oleana eventually steps in with her G-Max Garbodor, and sends the trio blasting off. Eventually, all the Dynamax Pokemon are defeated, and Rose catches up to the gang and assures to them that there's nothing to worry about. Leon is still concerned, but then Rose distracts him by reminding Leon that he has an upcoming championship title battle against Bee and Winden, and how he must focus on giving Galar another spectacular battle. In the end, everyone parts ways, with Ash and Gloria leaving Hammerlock. Back at the energy plant though, Rose and Oleana are struggling, as Team Rocket's attack set them back on their progress, and now Leon is starting to grow suspicious. Rose says that they have to make their next experiment a success, and that their best hope is to find the Eternatus meteorite. Meanwhile, back to the trio, we learn that they were able to get away with a Dynamax band, and they'll be sending their intel back to Team Rocket HQ. Episode 70. Ash and Gloria are reunited with Hop, who reveals that he just won his 5th gym badge. The group catch up and Hop tells Ash how much he's changed since he's been on his own, and he's so confident that he challenges Ash to a full battle. Ash accepts. Hop leads with Corvisquire, surprising Ash. He says he caught it in hopes of being like Ash, and believes that his might have even surpassed Ash's. Little did he know that Ash had evolved his. Corvisquire is easily outclassed by Corviknight, and is one-shot by Corviknight's Steel Wing. Hop then sends out Heatmor, who does decent damage, so Ash switches into Dreadnought for an easy victory. Hop then sends out Trevenant, who damages Dreadnought with an Energy Ball. Ash switches into Centiskorch, who suffers a bit from Trevenant's ghost attacks, but is still able to win. Hop tells Ash how much he continues to be impressed by him, since Corvisquire and Trevenant were the Pokemon that helped Hop win against Bee. He then uses Squirtle, who goes for a bite and holds on tight. Centiskorch tries to get it off with Slam, but still gets blasted with a point-blank water gun that defeats it. Hop tells Ash how he learned that trick from him and his Choodle. Ash then sends Pikachu, but Squirtle uses Flip Turn to switch into Silicobra, who Hop reveals he caught just to take on Pikachu. Pikachu struggles for a bit and gets caught in Sand Tomb, but is able to get out with Iron Tail and takes out Silicobra with Quick Attack. Hop then sends Squirtle back out, while Ash switches into Kubfu, who hammers away at Squirtle's defenses until it's defeated. Ash then recalls Kubfu and wants to end the battle. He says Hop is clearly doing something wrong as he isn't getting the results he wanted. Hop doesn't accept defeat, however, and sends out his final Pokemon, Wooloo. Ash sends out Grookey. The two battle it out, but Grookey is coming out on top. Hop then starts to doubt himself and begins to wonder why he's doing so bad. He spent a lot of time catching new Pokemon that he'd hope would allow him to catch up to Ash, but it's making him even worse. Ash then snaps and yells at Hop. He tells him he's doing it all wrong because he lacks the trust in his Pokemon. He doesn't even have Raboot with him anymore. Hasn't he noticed? The only Pokemon who's put up a good fight so far was Squirtle, a Pokemon he actually has a bond with. Ash tells Hop to stop worrying about what Bede, himself, and even what Leon thinks. He should focus on his relationship with his Pokemon. Hop realizes his mistake and begins to break down and cry. He apologizes to Wooloo and the rest of his team. Wooloo sees this and gets fired up. It now puts on an incredible fight. Grookey doesn't want to give up though, and fights back with the same intensity, until suddenly, both Pokemon evolve. Grookey is now Thwackey, and Wooloo is now Dubwool. Ash says that this is the true Hop that he knows. This is how he should really be battling. Hop and Dubwool give it all they got one more time, and so does Ash and Thwackey. But in the end, Thwackey wins with its new move Double Hit. Hop thanks Ash for the battle, and for helping him realize his errors. He leaves the group once again, but this time with a new sense of clarity, and with hope of truly being a better person the next time they meet. And that wraps up part 6 of my Sword and Shield anime series. Let me know your favorite episode in the comments, and use the hashtag #ZachToshiRewrite to share your fan art of this series. Shout out to my amazing channel members for their extra support, and consider becoming a member as well to watch these videos days early. Last but not least, make sure to live your life to the fullest, and have yourself a damn good one.